All right. So, welcome back to another episode of Electrify Education. I'm Miss Dassel, and today's guest is Patty Patricia Wright-Alexis of In Clubhouse. So, she's a dear friend of mine, so I'm very pleased to have her on today's episode. So, Patty, can you give us a
Right?
brief introduction about yourself and your organization?
Sure. So my name is Patricia Wright-Alexis. So I had to drop the Borneo. It was just too many names in one. Couldn't fit on the t-shirts in the back. So Patricia Wright-Alexis, I am one of the directors of the IN Clubhouse. We call ourselves TNT's first virtual extracurricular activity center. So we have a host of activities, all virtually. I am also the head coach and director of In Sports Field Hockey Academy, and I am a director of In Events Caribbean, which my husband is the co-director and the founder of In Events.
Excellent, excellent. All right. So, we're going to be divided our questions into three parts. So we have business, the education sector, and personal questions. Fun,
Okay.
light-hearted questions. All right. So the first question: what's one thing you wish you had known when you began your business
Hmm.
in sports? All the ins, in events,
Wow.
in clubhouse, all
The
of the
the
ins.
whole in party.
Yes.
Wow. I guess it's the amount of work that would
Mm,
be required to get it going and sometimes even to keep it going. People think that when you run your own business, you have the flexibility to get up when you want, sleep when you want, pick up and go to the beach, take your days off. But it's actually a lot more work than working
right.
corporate. I like to say corporate, where you go on, you switch on, and you switch off, and you could just relax. You have to put in the hours when you have your own baby to grow
Right.
and to develop. So it's a lot of hours. I always thought it was a glamorous type of thing that I would like to achieve. I mean, I saw my husband doing it before and saw him putting in some hours, but I was thought, well, I could mash up that real quick. I could
Right.
get this done and still have the time to homeschool the kids and do what I need to do. But I was wrong. So
Huh.
I am now in the process of readjusting that and rescheduling and continuous rescheduling to make sure I can get the hours in.
Very good. It's a growing pain, as you would say.
Yes, yes.
What's your what was your biggest failure in business, and how did you grow from it and learn from it?
Hmm. Well, so failure is a harsh word, but an
A
important word, right?
stumbling block. What was a
Yes,
stumbling block?
stumbling block. I feel as though I like to put it my learnings because I always
Right.
learn, so I don't
Yes.
lose or fail. I learn. So I feel as though every day is a learning, a day to learn. Every day adding something to the journal or something to work on. So to say that there's one major thing can't really put my finger on that, but it's every day. It's every day you pick up
Every
your
day.
learn in terms of business relationships and how you might interact with whether it be a parent or a fellow instructor or coach, a fellow coach, or even an athlete. It's always a continuous self assessment to then improve for the next day. So the next interaction you have, you're going to do this differently. You're going to change this. You're going to be a
Mm,
little more patient. I
right.
think if it's one thing that I'm nervous about learning and learning further lessons is being hasty. Whether it be making decisions too quick or making it with emotions. So
Right.
have to just be objective about it. Take yourself out. Don't take it personally.
Yep.
And just make it with logic, and of course, always thinking mutual benefit, win-win for both parties.
Excellent. Excellent. Great. That's great. What advice would you give someone wanting to pursue a career similar to yours?
Hmm. Uh, ensure that it's your passion. It
Right.
has to be your calling, your purpose. That has to be a why, because that I think is the only thing that would keep you motivated and keep you going. Without without having that strong pull, it's going to be difficult. So I guess this is my advice to anyone going into a business or doing
Right.
branching out and doing something. Ensure that it's what you're supposed to be doing. Because again, it will help drive, it will keep you motivated, and it will just help bring things your way. The universe will align, the stars will line up, so that things will just, fall into place. Of course, you have to put in the work,
Yes.
but again, ensuring that that's your passion, that way you are able to focus on it, makes it easier to go along the journey.
Excellent, excellent. And there are some days that's probably your only motivation, your passion. So just keep
Correct.
going.
So,
Yeah.
so true. Like I have to keep going back into my journal. Why am I here again? Why is I
Yes.
doing this? And then read it, get the boost of energy, and then you go again.
Excellent, excellent. All right, what are some of the best resources that have helped you along the way? So, example like books or YouTube gurus or coaching or mentors.
Girl, we have some time
Yes,
because
girl, give me the list.
I mean I am late with this.
Uh-huh.
Again, being in the corporate world for the most part of my adult life, and not pursuing that purpose part before. Again,
Mm-hmm.
just thinking about what others would say, I went straight into corporate. But coming out of corporate and now being in it, I got on the YouTube videos very late. But I do have people that I follow religiously, listen to their podcasts, and even just people here that I can interact with. So I'd like to put it out there. This is no mama guy, but I'll say my husband would be one of those resources that I tap into ever so often, because he
Yes.
has been in the game for a while. He
Yes.
has been through ups and downs. He has been on a learning curve.
Right.
And he takes everything with grace, picks back up and goes again, He's very
Definitely.
thorough. So he's a sounding board for me. So definitely him. Not to
And
mention
he
he's very logical.
right, and he also has a business degree from the illustrious Howard University, my
Uh,
alum.
of course, at this point in time, you should say HU.
I just throw that
All of
out
that.
there. Well educated, yes, we are.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
of course.
Right,
So I'll
right.
definitely
So,
say him.
right.
Of late, I have been following, now her name is passing me by, the CEO of Hint. Is it Cara
Oh,
Golden? So one of your Howard buddies, Nakote,
uh-huh.
put me onto her. I think I was just a former boss. And so I
Okay.
recently purchased one of her books, and being a female, the head of a corporation, she has some really, really good lessons that she went through
Right.
that we could benefit from. So I like Cara Golden. I also like Impact Theory. I love him and his
Yes.
wife.
Yes.
So I follow them and listen to them ever so often. Moving away from the business side, I am also very fond of Dr. Caroline Leaf. So she's a
Mm,
neuroscientist. So she
okay.
deals with the body and the brain, and neuroplasticity and the brain being able to change, and just general growth. In terms of books, the growth mindset. That's one
Mm,
book that I'm still working through now. Growth mindset. The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent, I think is his name.
yes.
And the list could go on. We even have this man from Virgin. I call him the crazy entrepreneur.
Branson, right.
Oh my gosh, yes. So I have his books as well.
Mm,
But the list continues. But if I was supposed to go from the very, very beginning, back in the honors program in university, it was good to great. You know how some
mm,
simple things could set
yes.
you apart. Yeah.
Right.
When you're in the field with everybody on the same playing field, just little changes from leadership to just management style, thinking outside the box. So that's one of the books that was very influential, from
Right.
good to great.
Right. Thank you. Put me onto some new people I've never heard of. So I will definitely be doing some research.
Yes, I'll be sure to send you the
Yes.
links after.
Yeah, that'll be great. All right. So what's one common myth about your field that you would like to debunk?
Mhm. A common myth, you see, right?
Mhm.
Well, I feel as though most people might be realizing this soon, based on where entrepreneurship has been going, but it's the rewards. For me, well, I'll call it the education field.
Mhm.
Education meaning coaching, meaning extracurricular activities, just a general term. It's to me, it's the rewards where it doesn't have to be monetary. Now, I know people say that thank you can't carry that to the supermarket and tell
Right.
the Chinaman, give him a parcel of flour. I feel as though once I keep saying your heart and your purpose and your energy is in the right place, that will come.
Right.
So the thing is the the lack of rewards, because I look at the other side, the other part of the reward, the intrinsic part, or the softer side of it, where it comes in terms of feedback from parents, impacting the lives of these young kids, you know, because this is just the beginning. We see what is happening now. We see where some adults are. And I think it starts with us in this field, in our field, to educate and impact. So for me, the rewards come from there. So impact from a simple thing as even changing the mindset based on how they think about things, the growth in confidence. These are all benefits that we can get from our field. So when people think about it, it's not rewarding, especially in the coaching field where you work so hard and you don't really get the praise because it's all about the team. I see it differently. I think the reward is there for each athlete that you touch, for each student that you touch, each member of the IN Clubhouse that we touch. That's valuable, invaluable. And just it will live on.
Yeah, excellent. All right. So the last question in the business segment. So we are currently in a pandemic. Started, let's say, around March 2020. So how did it affect you, and how were you able to pivot your business?
Wow. Yeah, so this pandemic hit was a blindsiding blow because things were, I want to say, pumping or bubbling, as we say.
Tell me about it. Tell me how it was on the up and up, and then
Listen, I was ready to buy a new car. I had my van. I picked it out already out to the lineup, you know, because on the hockey side of it, things were growing. I was getting
yes, the
schools.
camps. Yes, I
Yeah, it was
know.
insane, you know. So the numbers were growing there. The In Clubhouse, we were just about to launch it.
Yes,
So
yes.
middle of March was supposed to be our launch date. And of course, with the event side of it, the events were just picking up. We were just coming
Just
off our
finished
bumper Christmas
carnival.
into Carnival, yeah,
Yes.
and going into the AGM season. And so it really hit us. It took us about 2 weeks just to realize what was happening. Of course, in the 2 weeks, we took the rest. We needed the rest.
Yeah.
But soon after, the clock started to turn, and we were able to say, well, why not go online? For me, it was a push from my parents. I have to thank my parents from the academy. Coach, you know, the kids just sitting around watching TV, you know, what we're going to do? We got to do something.
Right.
So my thing is, you know, let's start every week. We touch base, we do a little workout, we get things going. And from there, so like, why not start the hockey sessions online, you know? So coaching hockey online was something that we never thought about, but we found a way to do it. You found that it was better because you got to incorporate more things. You're just using the virtual space. So doing that, I had the idea, well, if I'm doing hockey online, then we can do In Clubhouse online. Why not do all these other extracurricular activities online as well? And so from there, the virtual platform was launched. So we've been working on that from the end of April right up until launch date in July. So you found that it did take us for a spin, but it almost for the better. There was a silver lining or a platinum lining, I want to call it, because we were able to launch virtually in a space that we think is, you know, could last for a while. So even if or when things get back to normal, we still see that there'll be a space for that virtual interaction because it's just convenient. It's convenient.
Exactly.
Again, you can do so much more with it. Yeah, so that was one thing coming out of the pandemic.
And
We
you
were
can even do
grateful for.
a hybrid approach where you can have live
Correct.
classes and online live classes.
Correct.
Going on.
So true.
All right. So what are your thoughts of your parent? So what are your thoughts of reopening school during a pandemic? Would you send your Georgie?
Well, I mean, I've been thinking about this. And so while I think that I'm almost weird for thinking about it this way, because while everybody's like, I can't wait for school to open, I see it. But again, the convenience, because I don't have to get up, I don't have to face traffic, dress in uniform, iron, make lunch, you know, at 7 o'clock in the morning. I can do it, you know, on my timing. So whilst I would like for it to open, again, the interaction is important for the kids, no denying that. You find that even in the virtual space, you're still able to do some interaction. Of course, in your social bubbles, you organize a little play date here, something there. You still take them out to do some bike riding and stuff to make sure that they're still pumping and working physically. But the virtual space works. So I am a parent that would prefer the virtual space.
Excellent.
That might be
Excellent.
not the norm, but I do.
All right. So, right. So we're into the education sector. What would you say to critics of tutors? No, you're not exactly a tutor, but you may have some critics. What do you say to critics out there who don't understand your business model of a extracurricular club? They're like, why do that online? They could just be home. They could be on their tablet. What would you say to critics of that?
My thing is, it takes a village. Um, it takes a village, and everyone, we go to school, or we specialize in different areas. So I was
Mm-hmm.
having a conversation with my younger son, his preschool teacher, where I pride myself as being a smart parent. I could teach, and I was even considering homeschooling,
Right.
but I realized that that is just not my field. Right,
Right.
that's not my forte. So if I will gladly hand that over to somebody who can do it,
Right.
without any issues. So I am seeing now where, again, it takes a village, right? Because we may not be versed in everything, right? No man, I think, would be versed in everything. So
True.
for the critics of the tutors, I think you need to step back. I think even now, we should appreciate the work that these tutors do, because we're interacting with our kids. We're seeing the trouble. It's not as simple as learning 1 + 1 is 2. There's always something behind it.
Yeah.
How we could get you to understand this, how we could get you to cement this, so that when you add something on that, the foundation is there,
Yeah.
and I think that's where the tutors come in. They play an important role, not only in teaching, but even just getting the discipline to do the work, discipline to do it in a particular time, right? With these exams that we have coming around now that are time bound. Sometimes a parent just we aren't equipped with the skills to get our
Right.
kids to do the work within that time frame, and to get them to do it in a way that they understand it, not just for now, but well off into the future. So for the critics of your tutors, I think you need to just dress back a bit. Yeah. If you're not a parent, and that those have to be non-parents, because parents will understand the importance
Right.
of the importance role
Parents
that
and
teachers play,
guardians. Yeah.
and guardians, and even in the extracurricular space is just keeping your child active and engaged. Would
Yeah.
you, while you're working from home, like to have your child, mommy, can you look at this? Mommy, look at this, what I draw. Mommy, have a look at this. Mommy, come and play with me. No, so you also now have the IN Clubhouse to provide
Right.
the avenue to interact and engage with your kids in fun learning, creative and engaging environment.
Exactly. So you get time to complete your mom duties or dad duties
Correct.
while your child is engaged
To be
positively.
engaged.
All right. What's the best advice a student has ever given you? Or something they have said that was so profound that you're like, wow, that was amazing from someone so young. You thought of that? It happens. Sometimes they stump you
Oh
and
my
you're like,
God.
wow, that's
Yes.
great.
A
What do you
lot,
think?
yeah. It might even be feedback. So
Feedback.
I thought about
Okay.
this just recently, because I have to keep reminding myself of paying compliments or pointing out the good. We are tempted sometimes as coaches, tutors, teachers, educators to correct, without
Oh, yes.
saying, "Hey, well done," or "This was great," So one of my high school athletes actually said, "Miss, you're a real hard person to please. I just hardly ever hear you say, that was good." you know.
Ah,
And so whilst I would say I wanted to give him a sharp thing, I was like, well, if you do it good, then you'll hear that. If you're not doing it good, then you know what you expect.
yeah.
You had to stop and dress back a bit and say
Yeah.
he is right. He is right. As much as you want to correct, and not every moment we have to use as a teaching moment.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just really just give them the kudos. It helps build confidence. It helps, it helps them develop just as much as the correction does.
Yes. Yes, that's so true. All right. So we are both products of the traditional school system. We went to school, we went to
Hmm.
university, we had corporate jobs, and now we're entrepreneurs. So do you think the current curriculum is outdated?
Hmm.
You know, you have
That's
to get your 5 subjects, maths, English, social studies, science. You have to go to university, doctor, lawyer, accountant,
hmm.
something, right?
Hmm.
We're all supposed to be streamlined here.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
part B to that, what subjects would you include if you could
Hmm.
revamp the curriculum?
All right. So I would I do agree, it is outdated. Sir, apologies for that.
We can cut
I
it
have to
off,
put
don't
this
worry.
person back. Yes.
We'll edit that out.
Yes, please, right? So the curriculum is outdated. I agree. Just recently I had a conversation, which will say again, just talking about our daughter and what she has to learn. I go through. So, are you done with your work? What you had to do? And it was maths, English. Dear Lord, that's all. Hold on, I really need to cut this out. Hello, good day.
Well,
Hello, good
I'll
night.
pause. I'll pause. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, so I have to agree with you. If that is what you're saying, I agree that the curriculum is outdated. I was having a conversation with my husband just like 2 days ago about my daughter and her school. We kept asking her, so what did you cover today? Did you learn anything new? She's like, well, no. We did maths, we did grammar, we did social studies, Ash Wednesday again. And she's like, every single year we do Ash Wednesday. Why don't we just keep the books? Why do we do it over? And it was an
Wow.
interesting topic. What she said, noting and recognizing this because she's one that thinks outside of the box. She gets that from her dad. And her thing is, well, why not just recycle the books, recycle the work? Why do we have to go through it and, write the notes every year? And so that's when we looked at each other and we said, that's just the system. The system
Hmm.
is that you learn this, you do that, you need this. So I told her, I was like, you need Ash Wednesday for SEA. Yep, so you need to learn it. So they will go through it with you every year until the essay arrives, so that you're able to answer that question. And that's just the tip of the iceberg because it's something that you know I want to say angers me. The exam itself, I think, is a pressure situation for
Hmm.
parents and for kids, almost unnecessarily so. Because again, you're just learning to sit an exam to get a grade to pass, but there's so much more, and we're seeing that now with just how the kids are coming out into high school. So with the academy, I coach primary school and high school, and so I interact with both. So when
Right.
I meet them at the high school level, they're lacking, for lack of a better word,
Hmm.
to the skills to fluff them up to actually survive, from
Hmm.
confidence to just being able to talk, but again, we're so focused on maths, English, social studies, creative writing, etc.,
Right.
that we
Grades.
fail to develop that. Correct. So this would then lead into the things that I would like to see added to the curriculum, things like attention to drama. So first of all, remove the exams. Yeah, just do
Hmm.
continuous assessment. Assess them in their natural state, rather than the pressure put with exams on a continuous basis. Um, I'm not the minister of education again, but add something then drama to get them to be vocal, a show and tell. So yes, we have the little projects along the wayside, but the premium isn't on the projects; it's really on the grades. We just do it probably to fill a gap, I think. But
Right.
get the drama in there, get some show and tell to work on the public speaking, ensure that we have other extracurricular activities to get the confidence boost there, to get team and
Right.
socializing and interacting, to get leadership skills involved.
Right. The
It
soft
needs
skills
to
that.
be softer skills, correct? It's
Hmm.
lacking because we're getting a lot of intelligent or book intelligence, and we have kids that may not be able to survive there, so they get thrown away. But there's so many other intelligences that we can develop, and that's what
Exactly.
a shameless plug for the In Clubhouse. That's what we do, from body smarts, so you might just be really into fitness and movement and dance, or you might just be into nature. So we have the eco defenders. You might just be into the languages. So learn a language, the right
Yep.
time to learn a language is when you're very, very young and your brain can take it. So we need to do a lot more. I am hoping that change will happen with the curriculum, to
Yeah.
have a more holistic approach, again, because it will only benefit the kids.
Right. And to piggyback off of that, your thoughts on homework. A lot of parents complain, especially for the younger students, that the amount of homework now in
Hmm.
this virtual space is just copy and paste a whole
Yeah.
book due for tomorrow. Copied, printed, and scanned and uploaded.
And
And that's
stamped
for
with
just
copyright.
one. That's and for all subjects. So you have to do that for maths. And I noticed, especially with
Wow.
the younger ones, it's just a deluge of homework. What are your thoughts on that? Too
Well,
much
I
of a
mean,
good thing, or
I mean, I don't experience it with my kids. Georgiana, the work is very balanced.
Okay.
That they give her to do. I actually think it could probably be more. So
Oh,
it's doable. In terms of my youngest son in preschool, we don't call it homework, we call it activities. So he
right.
has activities to do. So it has a different connotation to it altogether. You may
Right.
enjoy doing the activity, parent and child together versus homework. But I have been hearing the complaints about the homework, and I'm wondering, I try to be objective. If it's a lot for the teachers to cover in that virtual space, because it's only for so long that you can keep the kids engaged.
Engaged, yeah.
So okay, fine, we'll do as much as we can here, but then the rest would have to be done at home and for homework. So I think it's we need to work it out. I say we as in parents, teachers,
Yeah.
work it out and get it balanced to benefit the kids, because it might be a bit too much, but then it will be too much for the teachers to cover. So I think again, if we adjust the curriculum to make it more realistic, we could easily solve
Exactly.
the problem.
And you could also tie it in. So something in math could be tied in with something with science so that you get a two for
Correct.
one. Kill two birds,
Correct.
one stone. All right. So now we're moving into my favorite part. This is a fun segment. We're getting to know the tutor. Just some silly questions. Uh, Relax. Let's get to it. So you've won. Let's say you inherited or you played the lotto and you won $10 million.
Oh,
How would you spend that money? 10 million.
so again, no mama guy, but I will buy stuff and give it to my athletes. I keep saying, as a coach of saying,
Oh,
I want to be this rich coach where if my athletes need a pair of shoes, they have a pair of shoes.
right.
They need a stick,
Like,
they have a stick, Or we just jump in coach panel van, because I'll buy a van for the use of the academy, and we just go
yes,
someplace. We take a trip, we travel. In terms of the in clubhouse, all the courses would be free because everybody
yeah,
needs to benefit from it. They need to benefit from just the holistic development. We need to reach people who may not have access to internet, who may not have access to just the funds to even facilitate the courses.
right.
So I would give back to my athletes. Again, I will do that because I benefited growing up. I
From
had
sport,
people,
right,
adults, doing the same thing for me. I grew up not very, well off,
right,
but people were able to, I was always okay because people gave. They
right.
saw and they gave without me even asking. So I would like to do the same.
Right, great. Anything selfish? That was very
Yeah, yes, okay, yes. So I will
selfless.
have some stuff. I want a nice van, I mean to
Right.
put my sticks and the gears in there.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, yeah, and a comfortable house. So to bring everybody over. Movie night, my coach. Movie night over here.
Right.
And of course you have this big sprawling space with a nice
Yeah.
TV, a little pool you can jump into after I finish watching movie, a popcorn maker decide. So of course you enjoy
Oh,
a nice
yes.
living space. But then you always have extra to give.
Yeah. All right. So you're stranded on a deserted island. You
Mm-hmm.
have food and water. What are three items you're bringing and why?
Food and water.
That's
All right. Oh,
all included.
okay. All right.
So
Oh,
three items you're bringing and why?
I try to tell myself I want to walk with a book, but I'll walk with a laptop, not even a
Right.
phone.
Uh-huh.
The phone is too limited. I want a laptop to, stop and engage, read a little article here, watch a little video, watch some movies
Yeah.
even. I will walk with, oh my good, that's it. I've been
That's
thinking here.
one. So
That's
you need
one, that's
two more
only one.
items. Two more. Three is the
Oh,
max.
and it is, so I've shelter, I've a house and everything, right? So I don't have to worry about an
Yeah,
umbrella.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, oh gosh, then I might have to walk with my family.
You can only choose one. That's
Oh
okay.
my word.
So your three items would be your husband, your daughter, and your son. Your three items.
I mean, yeah, because I'm not stranded. I'm not sure how long, I might eventually
Yes.
get to miss them, even with the computer. So I guess yes.
Okay. Alright. If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Hmm. Wow, my daughter asks me this question every time. It's like, but I should probably think about it. A superpower. I would like to, honestly, read minds.
Oh,
I'd
okay.
like to read minds.
That's cool. That's cool. All right. What was the best investment you've made? So a financial investment or time investment or energy. What was the best investment you made in yourself or your business?
Well, investment meaning big, it has to be big because my thing is books. I invest in, I
But yeah,
spend money on the books because I know that the knowledge that I'll gain will be priceless.
right.
After that will be a really nice phone that just broke. But yes, something about having a phone that can just do it all, you know, being a business
Right.
person, you need that,
And you're on the
you
go all
know.
the time, yeah.
Correct. So correct.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Let's see. What are your morning or evening rituals? You know, most of the YouTube gurus say, wake up at 5 a.m., you meditate, you go for exercise. Not everybody is like that. But what is maybe your morning ritual or your evening ritual?
So
Something you try to do.
it will be, as they say, the power mornings. And it's something that I have been doing before I got into the YouTube
Mm-hmm.
channels and the podcast. But my mornings are always spent with exercise, quiet time. So the quiet time now has been shifted to meditation as I'm trying to, explore that area. But quiet time, whether it be praying, reading, journaling, or just sitting in silence and just thinking or clearing mind, exercise. And then, of course, I try to get some work done before the house gets up. That's
Right.
my time to really think and go into a deep strategic zone.
Excellent. So what time is that about?
From 4:30.
Whew,
4:30.
all right.
Yeah, you have to get the jog on at 6 and then come back in time to get breakfast going. And again, this has been going on before we heard about the power morning. So I guess it's through the discipline of being an athlete
Yes,
and
the discipline, yeah.
the rising.
Excellent, excellent. All right. And the last question, where do you see your brand in 5 years? So
Oh, my God.
2026 in Clubhouse, in events, in hockey, maybe some more
Some
ins
more
and
ends under that
outs.
umbrella, for sure. For sure, for sure. We in everything. So when I met with I was having a discussion with a mentor, and I said to be a household name, and she's like, describe that, go deeper,
Mm,
because everybody would say that, but my thing would be to reach the masses, in a way where we are known and we are known for what we do. My thing is to have an impact, to influence, and just to enrich. So in 5 years' time, the In brand would be known to the masses for what we can do to enrich lives, to influence, or to impact the youths. So,
excellent, excellent. All right. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for
oh,
joining us. Time
well, thank
flew
you
by. It was
so very much.
so pleasant. I
Oh, yes,
enjoyed it. It
indeed.
was you informed me. I learned about new people I didn't even know. So that's great.
That's
So
good.
this is what the forum is about. We spreading the information, let
Hmm.
people into new ideas, open a new way of thinking. Right, it's
Really,
2021. We
really,
have
really
to
good.
start shifting into new ideas and
Hmm.
ideologies.
I agree, and I must commend you. A great, great initiative. From the time I saw the email, I was like, "We in that in. You got that? We in that." Because again, I love to listen to these episodes on YouTube as well. So my
Yeah,
thing is, we have it right here. Let's do it.
exactly.
Support. So well done. I love what you're doing. It brings about awareness, which we all need. So well done to you, and thanks
Exactly.
so very much for having us.
You're welcome. I love to, let people know about other people. You don't have to be selfish.
Mhm.
We share there's enough for everybody. If
Correct.
somebody could be looking for extracurricular activities, you are the
So
person they should
true.
be going to.
Yeah.
So,
So thank you so very much.
all right.
All
Bye.
right. Bye,
Take care.
Dassel.
Say
Take
yes,
care.
said good night.
Will do. And the
All
kids.
right. Yes,
Bye.
yes. All right. Take care.
All right.
And